So this trade proposal got thrown out by ESPN, and Atolo screenshotted it to me on Friday as I was driving home. I quickly responded with my answer, and a ton of Tolos ended up agreeing with me. I think Bobby Belt is going to be in the minority. Ooh. This is from ESPN staff with Seth Walder and Ben Solak and Dan Graziano, Jeremy Fowler, and others, and they threw out some trade offers for Maxx Crosby with 4 potential teams. Chicago.
DJ Moore.
DJ Moore involved again, along with their first-round pick, number 25 overall, and a third-rounder. That is better than the offer that we threw out last week, which Chicago fans were not too... was it Chicago or Raider fans weren't happy with?
No one was happy with Bill Barnwell's trade suggestions last week. Nobody.
Yes. So this is DJ Moore, a first and a third for Crosby. What do y'all think about that? DJ, a first and a third.
Look, if I'm the Raiders, I wouldn't do that. What do you need DJ Moore for? You need to. I mean, you need picks. You need to rebuild this team.
Yeah, but I mean, if you've now brought in an offensive-minded head coach, so if he's just looking for weapons or things to build with, you're getting Mendoza. So if you're saying, all right, let's get him like a workable target to go along with Bowers, let's start building the passing game. It makes sense, I guess. But
DJ's 28.
I wouldn't outright reject it. I would think I could find something that works better, but I would at least just be like, all right, hey, let's put a hold on that. Let me shop that deal a little bit.
Okay, number 2. Tampa Bay. The Raiders get Chris Godwin, a first-rounder, number 15 overall, and a 2027 second for Crosby and a 5th. So I'm getting a first and a second in that deal already, along with the injury-prone Chris Godwin.
Yeah, that's
better than the Chicago offer.
The draft pick capital's better. Is Godwin to Moore a big enough jump that it justifies just going like, oh, we'll bump it from a third to a second? Because I don't know how much Chris Godwin has left.
Yeah, he's 29. I'm not even looking at the receivers that much in those deals.
I'm with you.
I'm just going with the first and second round pick.
Because theoretically they could flip the receivers for something else if they wanted to.
Well, not much.
No, not much.
DJ has more value probably right now than Godwin.
I think I would just at that point say keep Godwin and just give me 2 firsts. But I don't know that they'd go for that. They may not.
Chargers get Crosby. This is in the division now. They would give up a 2026 second-round pick and a 6 along with a 5th. Ew.
Wait, what was it?
Seth Water says a second, a 6, and a 5th. 2026 second, number 55 overall. 2026 6, and a 27. What does Seth have to fill out some Charger quota to get them involved in this?
That doesn't make any sense.
These analytics guys, this is an analytics thing. This has to be somebody looking at a math equation and going like, well, if you look at the value, no, that's not what the value is. Micah's not going for 2 firsts and Kenny Clark, and then you're turning around and trading Maxx Crosby for a second and some change.
Second, 5th, and 6th.
That's awful.
That's
not going to work.
And then Dan Graziano's offer for Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys get Max and a second. That's number 36 overall. We do not have a current second-round pick. And they give up George and a first, number 20.
Hang on a second.
George and 20 for Max and 36.
So the Chargers only have to give up a second and a 6th and a 5th. A year later, 5th. Yeah. Not even this year, a year later, 5th. And we got to give up George and a 1?
Well, Graziano made that one. I'm sure if Walder was doing it, he would come up with some weird equation.
I am really growing tired of the just brutal, and I'm looking at you too, Robert, disrespect of what George Pickens is.
I am just.
It is disgraceful to me.
I love your tone. How you say it.
I don't think I disrespect him because I'm talking about him as being somebody worthy enough to go get you capital. I'm just talking about it as resource management.
No. I'm just messing with you, man.
Not really.
Well, you did insult him by saying he might be top 15 as a receiver. But look, George Pickens is. You don't trade George Pickens and a 1 for Maxx Crosby. You trade George Pickens for Maxx Crosby.
Oh, you get a second, too.
It's cool. You trade George Pickens for Maxx Crosby. That's what you do. You don't trade George Pickens and a 1 for Maxx Crosby. If you're going to make a trade, it's just like I totally understand the idea of trading from a strength to improve a weakness. I have no issue with that. None. But, do I want to take a strength and make it, not as, without George Pickens, this is still a good offense. It's not a great offense.
What's easier to find, somebody to get me 1,500 yards or 15 sacks?
1,500 yards.
You think it's hard to get 1,500 yards?
No, it's easier to get to
find somebody. Yeah.
To sign somebody?
To find somebody to do that.
Yeah, there was 19 guys, I think, that had 1,000 yards this year. 19 guys that had 1,000 yards receiving. I don't know. 1,500, I'd have to go back and look how many had 1,500.
Crosby's older, but Crosby's a sure thing. But like Crosby, you know exactly what you're getting with everything there. And again, it's just about resource management for me. And I don't think the Raiders would ever even consider this. Where they're like, hell no, you're giving us Pickens and a first and that's it, or Pickens a first and a third. We're not sending you anything back.
Here's what Graziano says: the Cowboys likely are not going to fork over a long-term, top-of-market deal for Pickens, and franchise tagging him could cause more problems than it solves. They get back Crosby, who will make around $30 a year for the next 2 years, and would replace Parsons. Then Dallas could look elsewhere for their number 2 receiver. The Raiders would have to sign Pickens long-term, but they're not already paying CeeDee Lamb top 3 money as the Cowboys are. Pickens fits better into Vegas's budget than he does Dallas's roster. So they took all the offers from their collection of reporters, right? They took the Raider offer, the Chicago offer, the Tampa offer, the Charger offer, and the Cowboy offer, and they voted. And the verdict? The Cowboy deal.
Yeah. You're going to get a top 10 receiver, top 5, Bobby, and a 1?
6. 6 is the highest I can get him, which is still damn good.
Yeah, no, 6 really is.
He can't get past
Jefferson, Chase. He can't get past JSN. Who I think, now is obviously, now you got to put him in the discussion of the
highest paid,
but also you got to put him in the discussion of all right, is he going to start challenging for that to be on that top tier?
Yeah, I can't get him past Puka, and then a lot in this city and metroplex that we live in, would put him past CD. I'm not putting him past CD, but we did have our fun during the course of the year. So, yeah, right now when things are going great,
oh yeah, there's a big question mark.
I can get him a 6.
I did see because T.O. recently said he'd take Pickens over Lamb.
Yes,
there was
while complimenting CD still.
Yeah, it was positive. It was like, man, they're both studs. I think I'd take Pickens by a little. There was a CBS Sports at the Super Bowl whenever they were getting Christian McCaffrey or CD or other people to sit down. They were doing like a roulette wheel where they'd land on a team and they'd say, you got to fill out a roster, pick a 17-0 team.
That was a cool little thing.
Yeah, it was cool. And when it landed, Christian McCaffrey landed on the Cowboys, and I think all he had was receiver left. But he was like, or whatever his option was, he was picking receiver, and he ended up picking George over CD. So he's like, I think we're going to go George by a little bit. So, there are a couple of players lately have been saying they like him. They're really impressed by him, and that they think he's at the top of the league, basically.
There's obviously a skill set that he has that's very unique that you can't necessarily teach because you're either a go up and get it guy or you're not. And Lamb is a more, like you brought up, he's a more consistent route runner and more consistent player. But there's a unique ability that Pickens has that a lot of guys don't possess.
ESPN is picking the Cowboy hypothetical offer. Here we go. Fowler's offer in Chicago and Solak's offer Tampa are compelling since they include wideouts, which Walder's Chargers proposal does not. It's awful. But Graziano's offer from the Cowboys would give the Raiders a top wide receiver, turns 25 on March 4th, and is coming off the career high year. The Raiders have not had a player reach those receiving numbers since Devontae in 2022. By pairing Pickens with Ashton Genty, Bowers, and Trey Tucker, Mendoza could have a strong supporting cast around him in year 1. On top of that, they would have an extra pick at 20 to address needs on the defensive or offensive lines. The Raiders were 15th in run stop win rate, blah, blah, blah. Basically, that's going on for why it's good for the Raiders. That tells me all I need to know. I'm saying no to that. But that's some latest proposals from the 4-letter in Bristol. The Cowboys get Javonte Williams deal done. I'm happy about it. It's 3 for 24, and that makes him the 16th, on average, the 16th highest paid back in the league. So I am totally good with that. If you told me it was going to be mid-pack, average per year for Javonte, basically Bobby boiling you down to 2 years, $16 million, I'm signing up for it. So I'm glad that got done. They prioritized him early. They said it out loud. With him, it's amazing how they'll say it out loud, like with Clowney and Javonte. But when it comes like Micah, CD, Dak, it's we'll wait and see.
You can't let them.
We'd like them back. But with these guys, like, no, we've contacted
new era. It's a new era. It's a new day.
It's a new day.
Celine Dion, a new day has come. Oh yeah, you went WWE. I went Celine Dion.
Yeah, but yeah, it also is like you can't let the guys who are really, really good think they're really, really good.
Right.
You could do that with Javonte and Clowney.
Cowboys have a history of walking around the car and telling you what's wrong with it. When they're shopping, they'll go,
just look at it.
Exactly.
Just look at it.
That's exactly what it is. Or they'll look at it and be like, ooh, you don't have the maintenance records? Oh, man. I don't know. That's generally how they've done things. It's unlike them to say we'll get ahead of a running back in year 6 with a knee injury history because it's probably the right thing to do. Normally in the past, they would try to ding somebody for that.